Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm here today. Everything is working live as usual. I'm excited to be here. I'm glad you're going to be here with me in a few more minutes as many of you begin to come on. One of the things I want to make you aware of is that this is Terrific Thursday. Now, what is Terrific Thursday? Thunderous Thursday, Opportunity Thursday. Well, it's a great time to join me right now live and to be able to come on and listen to this wonderful podcast that I have called Clear Blue Radiance. Clear Blue Radiance is when you can learn about many things that will help you understand your metaphysical world and your spiritual self in that world. And I'm so glad that I'm a part of the Resident Essentials, the group, meaning practitioners and preferred businesses that come here to assist you in that effort that you're going to make to help change your life, make yourself a better version of yourself. Well, I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, and I'm the host of Clear Blue Radiance. And what I want you to know is that if you don't know, and many of you already do, that I have been a spiritual counselor for over 40 plus years. And I enjoy helping people such as yourself gain greater clarity in your life and discover your purpose or redefine your purpose. When I say redefine your purpose, basically, as we evolve from one year to the next, from moment to moment, we are consciously and unconsciously changing. Our whole spiritual nature is changing. Now, we might understand that we're metaphysical beings. We might understand that we're also immortal at some point because we really don't die, or just we live through different bodies, okay, of the body, emotional body, the mental body, the physical body, the spiritual light body, and we flow from one existence to another. So we're really not dying. It's just our consciousness is evolving and it's going into different worlds of awareness and remembrance. And so these are the things we have to be able to realize. Well, today, as usual, I have another long topic. I should say title. The title it was Professional Sport Personalities like Tiger Woods, Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Stephen Curry all use meditation. Every last one of those people use meditation. Now, Phil Jackson used meditation as a on his own. He was, I believe, a forward for the New York Knicks basketball team when he played back in the 70s. He later became a coach for the Los Angeles Lakers as well as the Chicago Bulls. When he coached the Chicago Bulls, he had Scottie Pippen on there, Dennis Rodman on there, and of course Michael Jordan on there, and various other professional basketball players. And he got them into doing meditation after every workout. He had the sage going and everything. And he taught them to get into their minds, to learn how to meditate, to find their center of being, to become calm and serene and relax. So relaxed that their body could do what? Lift off. Their body would be so calm and relaxed, they would truly play in sync as a team. When he taught the Los Angeles Lakers, he had LeBron James on there, and he definitely had Kobe Bryant on there. Now, Kobe Bryant, in and of himself, that's the only team he ever played for. But he had the purpose of mind to really work hard. And what Kobe developed was the black snake called the Mamba, right? Being able to strike at will. Well, he put that concept in action with his deep desires for understanding the basic basketball skills. His father was also a basketball player who played in Europe for the Italian leagues. Italian leagues, Italian. My mother would say that Italian for the Italian professional basketball leagues. And he learned how to meditate at a very early age. And he kept meditation as a part of his mental game of awareness. If you look back at some of the footages, basketball players would try to psych him out by literally putting the ball, flashing the ball up quickly into his face. He never blinked. He never moved back. He stayed right where he was standing in front of the other professional basketball player. That takes a lot to be able to calm yourself, center yourself, and know when that's coming at you and don't budge. Tiger Woods, his father Eldrick, his late father Eldrick Woods, taught him how to meditate at an early age. And also, being that his father had married an Asian woman, every year they took him to, I think it was Thailand, I believe that his mom was from. They would go every year. Why? To take him to the temple. Why? To bless him. Why? For him to feel that energetic, deep folds of energy that would play on his energetic field. So he would always learn how to be calm and centered while competing, while playing golf. And this was very helpful. This is why he was able to do so well in his earlier years, to be able to compete at a very high level from a child to high school to college. He's a graduate of Stanford University, and to go further to play amateur sports and then excel in professional golf tournaments. Tiger Woods. Stephen Curry is another athlete. He plays for the Warriors. I believe it's the Warriors or the Clippers out there in California. Sacramento Clippers, I think it is. Anyway, he has a phenomenal calm mind as well. When you see athletes get out, Serena Williams, she's another one. Look at her and her sister. Her dad coached them all the way up until they could get in the professional leagues of tennis. But they grew up in Compton. They had to learn how to focus. Compton, California, one of the roughest areas to live in. They learned how to focus, how to put that mind in a position where nothing from the outside bashes up against it and startles it. You have to be able to, being at the level that they play at, with that level of intensity in the mind, to block out everything. Can you imagine being in a professional tennis arena like Serena Williams and her sister Venus played and all the other players before them? How you had to sit there on a clay court, grass court, concrete court, and play tennis in front of thousands upon thousands of people. That's not counting knowing full well that you got over 1 million people watching a game being broadcasted over the internet and over the TV and radio. That many people that you're playing in front of, and you have to block all of that out and just think about you, the tennis racket, the ball, the net, the court, and your opponent. Same with people that play football, even college football, college basketball. Just to be in those arenas and be able to, those stadiums, and be able to block all that sound of the fans out and just focus on yourself and your 11 other teammate members, or your 20, 21 others. Is you got defense and offense, and you got other players, and then you got the opponents. So imagine being like that and having to block all of that out. Now, long before people were using meditation in sports, they didn't have that. They just had to mentally prepare themselves to be able to do that. They didn't have anybody teaching them ballet to loosen their body or teach them yoga. the stretched attendance. They didn't have anybody teaching them mindfulness techniques. They didn't have anybody doing that. So as these league sports changed, so did mainstream sports and certain athletes paying attention on their own, or some of the coaches who were former athletes who knew about Eastern philosophies of yoga or Chinese martial arts, Japanese martial arts, using all of those training techniques to calm the mind and calm the body and prepare it, as they say, for battle, prepare for competition. This is something that they all had to do. And I'm quite sure it was not easy. Because you imagine athletes traveling from city to city. Each place is different. Each place is different. There's no way that you could focus and concentrate on that level without training your mind and training your body. To be able to just be there and let none of it overwhelm you. To be able to block it off and just focus on the game and your team and your opponents. That's phenomenal to be able to do that. So imagine if they were using it at that level, you could use it at the level for yourself, higher for yourself. Think of everyday activities. This is why you may adopt certain procedures, such as being at home and not playing any music in the background, no radio, no TV going on, just walking around in a space that's quiet. Why? Because the energy that you are flowing through, everything is giving off energy. Our radios and TVs and electrical appliances, and people, if you got microwave ovens in your house, those things are giving off juice in your house. This is why it's essential, if you have one and it's not hooked up within the unit in the kitchen, you should unplug it. You should unplug it, because that low frequency, vibrational frequency, upsets your system. It is the same with a cell phone. As much as we have these cell phones around, we should cut them off. Why? Because for the most part, shutting it off takes the radio frequency down a notch. But it's always giving off. Why? Because we've seen how you could have your phone shut off and the Amber Alert goes out and your phone is back on again. So that you don't really have any control over your cell phone other than to put it in an RFID sleeve. What that means is that special material keeps anyone from tuning into a frequency around your neighborhood and try to capture your privacy, try to capture your passwords, try to capture your not only your cell phone contacts, but your banking information. This is why we have to be careful. You see people drive up in your neighborhood, and you can tell by looking at their cars, they're not civilian agencies. They're not village agencies. They're not city agencies. There's somebody riding around trying to capture the internet, trying to capture the passwords. I've seen it a lot. Even in the area that I live in, I've seen people actually drive in and they're sitting there for a long time. They're not having a conversation over the phone with somebody. They're sitting there because they got the equipment to tune in. You can test this yourself. Have you ever gone to an establishment? And I'll get back on my subject. Going into an establishment like a restaurant, a cafe, indoors or outdoors. Turn on your cell phone and see if you can get a signal. Not only you're going to get a signal, you're going to get everybody within 10, 20, 30, 40 foot or more radius around you who has a cell phone on. And you're going to see their code name pop up. These things do happen. So when we think of the use of meditation, everything is interacting with you all the time. Even your cell phone is interacting with your body. It plays off the energy of your body as well. There's no accident that you have cellular memory in a cell phone. You have cellular memory in the cells of your trillions of cells in your body. You got a motherboard in a laptop, a desktop computer, a notebook computer, cell phone. You got a motherboard inside of you. That motherboard is called your heart. Your heart gives off more volts than the brain. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 0.17 or 0.017 volts. That means if all our trillions of cells, if we had the memory of how to reconnect them and be consciously aware and have our vibration raised that high, we would literally be seen with the light in our auric field around our body lit, really lit up. Then you would know that your body, the energy within your auric field, is blending with the energy of someone else's auric field, and you're somehow affecting each other. People who are very sensitive to environments and other people, they get nausea. They might regurgitate. They will find themselves hurting. They might pick up actual pain in their joints, knees, shoulders, wrists, ankles. They might in their pelvis, in their hip range, in their back. They might pick up other things in their feet because they're sensitive to the pores and the soles of the feet, but the pores of the skin, feeling it all the time. So one of the things we should do, let's get back to the basics. What is meditation? How do we define the word meditation? Well, you got the word medi, M-E-D-I, which is Latin for middle or center. But you see that word connected to medicine, meditation, medicine. It's connected. Same four letters. If you will look up in a standard dictionary, you would probably read something like this. Meditation is the act of finding your center of being. Meditation is the act of finding your center of being. I always like to ask the question, being what? What is it that you're striving to be, wanting to be, desiring to be, needing to be? Do you know? When you first get into meditation, you may have an answer or a thought that's generic that you throw out there. I've heard many. I would start my classes, very first meditation classes, and I would ask everybody, how many people have meditated before? And many people said yes. But then I might ask, how many people of you who have meditated before found your center yet? And most say no, because there's a difference. When you first get into meditation, many people think it deals with thinking, and it doesn't. Meditation has nothing to do with contemplating any thoughts, but you will experience your thoughts racing through your head all the time. You'll experience that. Thousands upon thousands of thoughts, memories of thoughts, memories of thoughts and experiences racing through your mind. You'll find your eyes flicker a little bit or itch, or you find yourself having a tight throat. Excuse me. Ooh, wow. And yawn. Find yourself being tired like that and yawn. This is because there's a part of you that doesn't want you to sit and engage in meditation to calm the mind or calm the body or both. These things happen like this because there's that ego part of you that wants to get in the way because it doesn't want to sit. It's like an unruly child. It doesn't want to sit. It doesn't want to be still. It wants to be engaged in constant activity. So there's such a thing as constant mental chatter going on in your mind, worries and anxieties about bills and debts and people, illnesses, jobs, no money. These things happen because we are consciously thinking all the time. Do you know when you go to sleep at night, you're not still in the mind? You're still thinking. You're still having a conversation with yourself about what transpired during the day of something that you liked or didn't like. A coworker, a spouse, a relative, a neighbor, a friend. You engaged in conversation at some point with them, and you do not necessarily like to remember something that was off center, off beat, something where anger was exchanged or anger was lodged at you. These things do happen in this situation called life. But if you get into meditation for yourself, then what happens for you is that you gain control over your mind. You gain control over how you're going to react or act toward a situation or a person or within an event that's going on. Why? Because at some point, you know yourself very well, and you know what you're going to allow yourself to respond to or not respond to. These things do happen. Let me cut off one of my lights here. These things do happen. We find ourselves going through these experiences day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second, hour by hour. There used to be an R&B tune back in the 70s that used that phrase, hour by hour, minute by minute. What you want to be able to do is gain composure again, gain relaxation, gain control over your thoughts. But I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be able to do that because your thoughts will evade you, go around you. Why? Because they're constantly in motion. Even when you go to sleep at night, you're still thinking. You may lay an intention now that I'm not going to think while I'm asleep, but you just laid out a thought. I'm not going to think while I'm asleep. And you have a tendency to be repetitive, to repeat that in your mind. I'm not going to da 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 da. You keep repeating it. So therefore the mind is thinking all the time. Hey there, Miss Melanie Hall. Therefore, you're thinking all the time. When you catch yourself thinking all the time, you can't help it. You really can't help it. So when you start getting into meditation, One of the things is not just the outcome of being calm and serene and tranquil. You go, I feel good. I feel very calm. I feel very relaxed. But it also deals with understanding that since your brain is constantly pulsating thoughts all the time, just like your heartbeat is pulsating blood all the time, just allow that to be and learn not to pay too much attention to it. The less attention we can pay to our thoughts that are repetitive, the better we shall be. This is important because you're striving to have peace of mind. You're striving to have control over your physical body and your thoughts. You want to have more safety in your life, more peace in your life. You want to feel protected in your life and secure. These are seeds that you place out into the universe around yourself in your auric field. You are the one who's constantly and consciously, if not subconsciously, telling yourself over and over and over what you do not want to experience. And often we know that the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between if you're right or wrong, if you're telling the truth or not. But what it does know is repetitive thought patterns. So that part of yourself will bring up all the repetitive thought patterns. This is why we say that the subconscious mind is really a part of what? The universe. And they say all the dust particles that are in the universe are inside of us, and all the cells in the universe are inside of us. And this is why we can say we are one with the divine source. We replicate it. Trillions and billions and gazillions of people on this planet alone are replicating things in the atmosphere galactically. Now imagine those who come from other realms through wormholes and show up over here. And they go, what are these people doing? What are these beings doing? Why are they at war with each other? Why aren't they working together? They can recognize when something is off, something's not centered. So we want to engage our minds, engage ourselves back towards studying ourselves. So to help you do this, I'm going to give you 3 mindfulness techniques. We're going to do them together. These will involve deep breathing and mental focus, and we're going to open the heart chakra field. There's a front door and a back door to it. Front door is the center of your sternum. The back door is the opposite on your spine. That's the front door of your heart and the back door. But one of the things we want to do is get into a rhythm of deep breathing because this is essential. So you begin to inhale through the nose, let it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, let it out through the mouth. Inhale again, let it out through the mouth. As you're letting it out through your mouth, you're not trying to hold on to the energy of what it feels like. You just want to let it go. Because when you're walking every day and you're inhaling and exhaling every day, you're not too conscious of the fact that you're not holding on to the breath. Because everything works in concert with everything else. When you're walking, your arms are swinging or you're moving your elbows back and forth, the fists are coming up. The higher the fist goes, the more pulsation, the more energy goes up in the body. If you're seated, here's one of the things you want to keep in mind. If you want to keep your mind calmer and your blood pressure down, you pick a spot that's considered like the horizon point for yourself. And then you look lower. If you want to bring that energy up in your body and recirculate it through your body, you want it to go down toward the floor. Why? Because the floor is the earthy element, it's the magnetic side, and energy that you intend toward it will go there. Energy that you intend to go toward the body of the earth itself will go there. Why? Because you have commanded it to go there by looking at it to go there and knowing you have to project the mind, the thought, and the feeling of it at the same time. So let's get into some deep breathing first. We already expelled the breath through our mouth. Now we're just going to inhale through the nose and quietly exhale the breath through the nose. Inhale again, exhaling using the nasal passage again. Inhaling again, exhaling again. Now, as you do that, you are allowing the entire chemistry makeup of yourself interlock, interlace, and play into this as well. Everything is moving because you are allowing it to do so. You're allowing the energy within yourself to be carried forward and to come down. In the Chinese version of the martial arts and the studying of Qigong, they always say that the energy rises up the spine, but on the outside, because it's traveling through the tissue called the fascia in the body. The fascia kind of holds everything contained together. So, your organs are not falling, excuse me, all over the place. So it's letting the energy come up and feel it come up over the spine, over the shoulders, up the neck, up over into the base of the skull, over the top. And as you exhale, it's falling down. Now, usually in the beginning, greetings, Jackie. Usually in the beginnings, when you're doing this, you may not have that much control over the rhythm of your breathing, of inhaling and exhaling. So I'm going to give you a key that they used to tell me when I used to take Tai Chi classes back in my 20s. They say you don't push the breath with the mind. They say you lead your breath with the mind. Well, marathon runners do the same. In order to pull themselves around the track, they pick 50 yards ahead of them. And before they reach that 50th yard, they're gazing further into another 50. You're doing the same right now. You're going to inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, I want you to do this exercise. You're going to take your fingers, any finger, index and middle finger if you want, index, middle finger, and a thumb, any one, and I want you to touch the lower part of your back where it starts to go into the pelvis area. And I want you to touch gently on top of the spine. And I want you to take a mental memory of that. And I want you to focus on the inside of your body, like you're just in the fascia area underneath between the skin and the muscle. You're right there in the fascia. And you're going to inhale, and you want to bring that breath up to the center between your, the center of your back, I should say, first. And then drop the breath back down to that point. Inhale again. What feels like center, and then back down again. Center will feel like opposite the solar plexus. But each time you do this, I want you to now think of the back door. The back door is opposite the center of your sternum, which will place you between your two shoulder blades. And I want you to inhale all that energy up to the point between your shoulder blades, and then release it back down. I want you to do it 2 more times because I want you to feel that point energetically on the body. And then you exhale. Now I want you to touch yourself in the area just where the base of the neck is going into that region around by the collarbone. And I want you to inhale from that point and exhale so that you're aware of it. Now I want you to draw that energy up from the beginning where we started, the lower part of your back going into your pelvis, all the way up. Exhale out of that point, base of the neck. Now, if you need to, you can turn your head to the right or to the left. Hi there, Aret Mayat. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I know who you are. Glad to see all of you three queens here. Just inhale and exhale. This time, I want you to touch any one finger, 2 or 3, index, middle, or thumb together, right at the base of your skull, right where your head has that little indentation, right in there. I want you to touch that lightly and make a mental awareness. Now go back to that lower part in the pelvis region and inhale all the way up into that point. Starting right now, inhale. You're guiding it there. You're leading it. You're not pushing it. Exhale. Again, go back to that point around the pelvis. The minute you feel it, I want you to take your awareness and take it into the center of your back. Inhale. As you arrive at the center, go to the point between your shoulder blades. Keep inhaling. A little bit more to the base of the skull. Inhale. Now let it all out. You might have to inhale a little bit. You will, but then just let it out. Now, you got, depending on the width between your thumb point and your middle finger, if I'm not mistaken, you could touch with your middle finger or your index finger from the base of your skull right to the center of the crown of your head. Just be aware of that. Go back to the lower part and inhale all the way up toward the crown of your head. Again, you're leading the breath. When you have arrived, you're going to get a little tingling sensation right on the top. Then let it out. Let the breath out. Now, this time you're going to bring it to the hairline, right in the center. Right in the center of your brow, right up there in the hairline. You're going to bring that energy all the way there. Go back to the rear and lead the breath. Go. Inhale. Go to the hairline. Exhale from here. Now, here's what you're going to be able to do. You've energized about 3 times, 4 times from your back up to the crown. Now I just want you to switch and go between the shoulder blades because now you'll be in the back door of the heart. Focus there. And from that point, inhale, leading the breath. Don't push it. Don't press behind it. Lead the breath up into that lower part of the neck, then into the base of the skull, to the crown, over through the hairline, and down to where the brow center is, the third eye area. That's where the pineal gland is going to release. Do it again. Inhale from that point where the neck hits the collarbone area from the back. Inhale from there. Through the base of the skull, into the crown, over the top, center line, down to the hairline, down. Now at this point, it's easier to exhale down through the hairline, down through the brow center. And if you want, you can bring it down to this point, momentarily inhale, then exhale, or you can bring it down right here in the base of your throat. When you practice these exercises, you're going to feel a tingling sensation begin to happen here and through the center of your forehead. You're going to feel it on the right side of the head, temples, sacred points, temples. You're going to feel it over the top of the head. You're going to feel the crown. You're going to feel all this lighten up as if someone was striking a match. And why don't you just take a break? That was a mindfulness exercise with deep breathing involved and with intention to lead the breath through all of these different points from the back. In Chinese martial arts, they always say that the body is moving that way. The energy is coming up the back, coming over the center, and coming down. So you want to engage the inhalation as it comes up into transitioning to exhaling as the energy and breath goes down or the breath goes out. But here's another concept of mental focus. You can focus on a glass of water, a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. You could look at a house plant or sit out in your garden and just observe plants. You could look at a pencil or a pen, grab the nearest pencil or pen and gaze upon it, turn it, really feel, is it smooth? Record that, recording in your mind, it's smooth. It has some ridges somewhere. Record it in your mind. So that the next time you pick up that pen or you look at it, all that memory comes up. You can do the same with a pencil, a marker pen, a stylus pen. These are different ways to practice mental focus. You can look at a reflection of yourself and just gaze. And breathe. Hey, Linda, how you doing? You can do these exercises because it energizes the body. It creates a tingling sensation along your nerve system. It also, you get your mind, as a martial arts person would say, inside the body. They don't keep the mind outside externally. Why? Because there's too much activity. They have better control when they embed the mind past the skin, the epidermis, the 7 layers of the skin, and come right down on top of the muscle where that little sac is. And that sac is called the fascia. It holds things in place. Now, I always thought there was just one. There is one for the entire body, but there's others. There's fascia around the upper part of the body, around from the solar plexus up and the solar plexus area down. These are areas that hold organs into place. For people who have, eat chicken and things like that, our animals have a fascia too. When you're pulling the skin away from the muscle and the bone, there's a fascia there. That little white piece of film, that's the fascia that you're pulling away. They just having to bring that up. You focus again your level of awareness. But that's where you laser, like with your mind, like a laser mental acupuncture needle focusing into the fascia. That's where the chi is flowing in the body. Now, once you are familiar with doing this, an exercise such as that, mindfulness just means 100% attention. That's what mindfulness is talking. 100% of your attention is not outside, it's on you. Then you can do the same by placing the awareness in the center of your sternum and then just project a little further ahead of the body in that space and feel that space all the way around the body. I mean, if you lift up your arms at the joints, you're going to feel it come underneath the the points and be where the lymph nodes or glands are, and all the way around to the back. But the whole idea is to gain awareness. So when you're meditating, you're gaining a sense of awareness of everything about yourself: your skin, the hairs on your skin, the upper part of your body, your torso, the joints, the rib cage, the forearms, the elbows, the wrists, and all the other nuances, all the muscles, smaller, refined muscles in your hands and in your feet. You begin to pay attention to those things. Why? The greater your awareness, the easier things become. I'll say that again. The greater your awareness, the easier things become. I'll say it one more time. The greater your awareness, the easier things become. Why? Because you are relaxed. You don't feel tensed. You feel things greatly when you're more relaxed than when you're tensed. When you're tensed, you're blocking some things out. But when you're relaxed and not tense, you're receiving more. In fact, you're able to receive without feeling inhibited, without feeling restricted, without feeling pushed off. It is very difficult to be able to receive energy coming through the center of your chest, or for that matter, the entire body. Again, I'll use this scenario. People who practice martial arts, the grappling styles of jujitsu and ninjutsu and all these things, they get themselves so focused, so comfortable of working from the floor like a wrestler that they're not afraid to be on their back and learning how to control using their legs and their arms and their breathing. Why? Because they're waiting for the opponent to make a mistake. The minute the opponent makes a slight mistake of trying to shift the body and move an arm or move a leg, then that person seizes that moment, takes advantage of that moment, and turns it into a plus for themselves. So, one of the things you might want to do today is this. You might want to, when you're walking around, you might want to pay attention to what you're feeling through your sneakers or your sandals or your shoes. Or if you're walking in a place where you can walk barefooted or with socks, be aware of what you're feeling. Everything has an energy connected to it. This is why when people say, well, I'm going to go earthing, I suggest be very careful when you're out earthing, when you're putting your feet, because you don't know what else is in the ground. People say, well, yeah, I feel good. I'm walking on the ground with my feet. Well, hallelujah, and I'm happy for you. Not everybody has calloused soles of the feet. Calloused soles of the feet allow you to walk on the earth. I have tender feet. I can't walk on the earth like that. So but I'm well aware of my sneakers, my socks. I'm well aware of the foot padding. I'm well aware of, and I can project my mind into the earth, and I can get a feeling for what that earth is like. They even sell on the market those special feet, foot. They sell those special feet shoes, I'll call them, and they conform to your foot. So you can feel the padding underneath each toe. You can feel the balls of the feet under each toe. You can feel the whole sole of the feet into the heel. You can feel it through the material that that foot shoe is made of. They say they even use them to swim in. That's how good they are. But you have to be careful. We have to be careful of environments that we're walking on and through. Anything could be in the dirt. Anything. Pulverized glass, car oil, truck oil, diesel, gas, regular gas. All that's in the soil. And it's got to come up some point. You're walking on it, you're absorbing it because you got over 2,000 pores in the sole of each foot. So you're bringing that stuff in really fast. So what people should do after earthing, they should go wash their feet, the soles of their feet, to release some of the impurities out of their feet. Take a foot bath, release the toxic matter out of the soles of your feet. Massage your feet yourself. Release toxic matter out of the soles of your feet. People say, oh, it's nothing going to happen to me. You don't know what could happen to you if you're walking through poisonous areas. Again, all kind of chemicals can get into the pores of your body, begin to interact what? With the fluid in your body, especially your blood. You don't want to be out there earthing unless you are familiar with the grass and the soil of that area. If you're familiar, if you're on a farmland and you know it's not being pulverized, there's no bad fluids on it, anything of the body, anything of animals on it, any chemicals on it, then hey, by all means, earth in that area. Why? Because it's natural. And the only other thing you're going to feel beyond that is a few ants. So you want to earth in the right spot. That's essential. Good afternoon, Laura Marie. Thank you for joining us. You want to be able to walk in a space that's harmless to your physical body. That's important. So, meditation is used by everybody in the world now. Military agents, spy agents, intelligence agents, they all use meditation. Professional and amateur athletes, they use meditation. Actors and actresses, they use meditation. Musicians, they use meditation. And you should too. The more you get into meditation, the more harmony that you're going to experience, the more pleasures of the body, and eventually you get to the point of self-realization with yourself. Like Paramhansa Yogananda, who founded the Self-Realization Fellowship in India. It's all about you getting in touch with the real you. Using meditation to do that, to incorporate that into your life. That's important. The more you can meditate, the better you shall be. The more relaxed you'll be, the more relaxed the mind can be. Meditate daily. Start off with 10, 15 minutes if you're a beginner. By the end of the week, the following week, increase it by another 10, 15 minutes. By the time you get down to the fourth week in the month, you'll probably be pretty much at 30 minutes of meditation comfortably for yourself. You go for another 30 days, you can get yourself into 45 minutes and then eventually an hour. Not feeling like you're fidgety, not feeling like your thoughts racing through your mind, but you can be at a place where you feel calm, relaxed, and at peace. Here's three words I always use in meditation: peace, and I'm inhaling on the feeling of it and exhaling. Harmony, just feel it. Embrace that energy. Embrace yourself. Embrace the hands, arms, legs, feet. Put all of that energy into you so you will be a better you, a better version of yourself. Well, today at Resident Essentials, usually at the time when I'm broadcasting, we have Liliana Rondon. She's the owner of Jaguarina Apothecary right here in the city of Albuquerque. I think she has a shop set up down in Old Town Plaza area of Albuquerque, but she usually is at Resident Essentials from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And usually she has a lunch and learn from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And today she was starting something like an open art studio. She has all the paints and stuff, and people would come in and sit down and draw and paint for healing. She's a very good natured woman, very smart woman. She works with herbs. I took one of her 2 hour workshops not too long ago. I think it was on a Saturday. And we learned how to make uh, bath salt and infuse it with medicinal oils, healing oils, and herbs. And then we learned how to make a body scrub. Fascinating. I have some in my bedroom charging up right now. It's great to learn these things and learn from other people. Liliana Rondon, you could meet her at our psychic fairs, usually on the second Sunday of each month from 12 to 5, free admission. And you can get a consultation from her as well. But she's there every Thursday at Resident Essentials, 3107 Eubank Boulevard, Northeast, just above the intersection of where Eubank and Candelaria intersect. Right across the street is Silva, Silva, Silver Lanes, which is bowling. And on the other side behind the building there, you will see, I think it's a McDonald's there, but when you pull in, if you're traveling south on Eubank, stay in the right hand lane, you'll see a what I call the clock tower, but the big board, uh, brick board. It says 3107. Make a right turn. Right there, you'll see Nashville Chicken, spiciest chicken in the world. But the parking lot will open up, and you'll see a green with black trim building, and that's where Resident Essentials is located at Suite Door number 34, Resident Essentials. There's usually practitioners there every Tuesday through Saturday. Some come by appointment. On Tuesday, we have Nikki Bruton Phillips is there, and she's reading with oracle cards and various cards, tarot cards. Also, there is Reiki with Amber J, and both of them are in at that time. On Wednesdays, there are other healers. Thursdays, there are other people in. Fridays, Thursdays, or Wednesdays, you can be in there with Michelle Vidal, the owner of Resident Essentials, and Rosie Navarro. Both of them are doing psychic medium readings and all kind of spiritual counseling that you could receive. There's a price for all of it. You can go to the website www.residentessentials.com. That's www.resonantessentials.com. If you're there on Saturdays like I am, from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for just $10 per circle, $10 every Saturday, I'm giving my creative pathwork meditation. I've been a meditation practitioner ever since my college days as a sophomore or freshman in 1971. That's a long time. That's 52 years of devoting myself to meditation. I'm a meditation practitioner as well as instructor, teacher, and I know a lot. I have my experiences of sitting in Zen halls, being invited to Zen halls, Zen style Buddhism. In Japan, they call it Chan. Chan. I've done Tai Chi with meditation, hard style, soft style, karate systems with meditation. I've been exposed to different types and awarenesses. And I have that to offer over 52 years to offer you when I'm teaching my class. We have discussion, leave room for that. But my main thing with meditation is to get people to eventually connect with their higher self. I have some students who have done it in 6 months, but that means not just coming to the center and learning how to do it, but also practicing at home because it's important to practice as a solo practitioner because when you are in meditation, most of the time it's just you and the world, you and your environment. So you have to practice every day. But then you come to the group and you can ride off the group's energy and meditate in a group. And I'm the chicken, I'm the hen there. So I'm like really tuned in to people and helping them raise their energy. I help shift the energy in the location that we're at so that you can really fine tune yourself and get deeper into meditation. If you want more information, how I go about teaching meditation online, you can email me at iam.circleofgrace with the number one at the end, just like you see back here, at gmail.com. That's iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com. Just send me an email and I'll send you all the information of the dates and times when I'm doing things online. I'll give you all my courses and classes that I'm doing. Someone asked me if I'm going to be doing numerology again. Hey, for those of you that took the 18-week numerology course, I'm going to do it again in February on Wednesday, February the 7th. I'm going to start it again. But all of you who successfully already received your certificate of completion, if you want to take that course, contact me. I'll give you a special, very unique a very special discount if you want to like retake it. This time when I teach it in um, in 2024 on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I'm not going to teach 18 weeks like I did the last time. It's a 12-week course with one extra week, so that's 13 weeks, and the one extra week will be free. I'm going to teach it slightly different this time than I did when I did the 18 weeks. So I'm letting you know that. I'm also working on a meditation book that also deals with the higher self. I'm working on the manuscript right now. I had my wonderful spiritual metaphysical sister Michelle give me the foreword. Ooh, she wrote a really beautiful foreword, and I'm looking forward to publish the book in 2024 between my birthday, March 16th, and my late mother Grace's birthday, August the 11th. I'm looking to place it somewhere there on Amazon, and I'm not going to give out the title right now, but those of you who are my longtime students over the past 2 years to 10 years to 20 years, you've already seen the book cover and you already know what the title is. So I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for coming on. I need to put this brief title here in the Resident Essentials chat. I usually supposed to do this beforehand, but I didn't do it. So let me just place it here. If you have any questions, ask them now. Any questions, anybody? Don't be shy. Any questions? You can send them. You can place. You can replay this and lay a question here. I'll go back and answer it right here. You can just say replay it and put your question in if you don't want to put it in right now. Or you can email me at iam.circleofgrace1@gmail.com, and I'll most certainly answer your question. Yes, I do use selenite. I have it all around in my residence. I have all kinds of selenite. That's selenite right there. It looks like an eyeball. One of my students, who's not on today, Lauren, gave me that as a gift. That's selenite with a little clear spot. It looks like an eye. I like it. I use a lot. So that's one piece of selenite there. I have smaller pieces down on this tabletop. I call them finger pieces. I got them all over. I have another ball that sits on the floor in rose quartz. I have tons of it in front of my TV set, on my credenza, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the bedroom. I keep selenite rocking. Selenite is a high vibrational energy stone, a healing stone, and it connects to you. The reason why you're drawn to selenite is because your body wants more selenite. In your body, you are carrying the trace mineral called selenium, 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 and that's what you have in your body. Yes, and so these things are very, very helpful, and you want to be able to use them appropriately. The only thing about when you're working with selenite is you cannot place it in water because it's a little too porous. So you can't do that. You can't place it in water because if you do,